we've looked at the formation of the head of, as your role as the head of LHV here in the UK, started in sort of August 2018. So can you give us a little bit of an understanding about how it started at that point and how you've got to where we are today? We're about to talk about sort of banking licenses and everything else.
Well, it was quite a difficult decision, of course, if you do the change and while moving away from the relative well-functioning retail banking side and bringing along with some of the clients already who were using kind of LHV banking services products. We started from the scratch. We really understood that their proposition in the market is not very well established. Of course, there are some good players providing banking services products, but not actually across EU and UK in the same time, which gave us quite strong confidence to start building all the infrastructure connections to faster payment scheme, establish the properly functioning branch in UK, and gradually build the service, understand a little bit more about the customer needs, provide additional services, build the client portfolio. And today we have over 150 fintech clients using our services. We started with 20. So, and those clients are all B2B clients, which means that we're serving significantly more end customers. We assume that it's about 10 million end customers of our fintech clients, which are using LHV payment rails. And now with the Brexit and solid business case, we decided that it's time to really establish a proper bank in UK, and that's why we started to pursue the credit institution license.
Yeah, so just sort of like going back to sort of like the original opening of the UK, obviously there was some quite, now quite well famous names of challenger banks or bank challengers, as we call them, that were obviously using LHV as a correspondence bank for Europe. That was kind of very much, I guess, was it the idea to start in that way and then to sort of gather traction before getting to this point, or was it more of a necessity due to regulation, etc.?
There is certain regulatory aspect as well. It's always good to be very clear from a licensing perspective, because we need to always keep in mind that banking is very highly regulated industry, and you work very closely with regulators from your own homeland regulator perspective and also where you operate as a branch. And it is desired way of doing business for both regulators that the bank is established on both ends, like the credit institution, not simply the branch, because it gives us for everyone greater visibility about the function, the risks, also ring fencing. And in terms of the business evaluation, it wouldn't be that complicated and different to do business with the bank compared to the branch, but to give also additional comfort and confirmation to our clients that we take things seriously in UK is to really have a proper capitalized subsidiary in as a bank in UK.
Absolutely. And I guess, we mentioned the word Brexit, which is coming up, etc. So obviously the intention is for LHV to have a banking license in Europe and a banking license in the UK. Is that to allow clients on both sides of the UK and Europe to sort of be able to utilize that system to maintain, transfers within that sort of European region?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, of course, we are subject to approval in UK, and PRA very carefully follows what we're doing and how we're doing. And at the moment, as I said, we are in a licensing process, which is quite heavy and very interesting work. In terms of our intention, of course, it is to really be a platform for regional clients, so that there will be very seamless technical integration with LHV to be able to access the payment rails through the single API in UK and also in Eurozone. I think if you look at the fintech clients and fintech companies, they all operate cross-border seamlessly. But we haven't seen similar thing happening in regulated banking. So banks tend to operate within single country borders, and if you want to have banking access, banking rails in multiple locations, you pretty much start as a new customer in a different country. And it's definitely so for retail customers, still slightly better for corporate customers, but you simply don't have seamless experience cross-border banking. Although in our case, it will be two different legal entities, one operating in Europe and one in UK, but still from technology perspective, we can make this connection, this business significantly easier for any companies, mostly, of course, fintechs and regulated entities, but why not also do larger corporates who have payment flows in EU and UK.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where perhaps we won't dig too much into the technicalities because it is a massive rabbit warren of information, and we get lost very quickly in there because there's very big differences between the electronic money institutions, the banking licenses, and everything else. We get hung up on semantics quite a bit. They obviously, with this sort of new move, which obviously, as we said, is in progress, there was a conversation that we sort of saw reference to, which was that the sort of the leading offering really that you're looking for in the UK is sort of payments as a service. Is that because you see the UK as a particular hub for, you know, new sort of banking as a service and payment as a service opportunities?
Although it has been slightly impacted by the Brexit, I still believe that London is and will be the capital of fintech in our region, in Europe and closest region. If you look at the number of fintechs operating in UK or having headquarters in UK, if you, for example, look at the VC firms in London, and if you look at the historical VC deals, then London is absolutely the best place where to be. Of course, the same fintech companies, in order to operate in Europe after Brexit, need to establish their subsidiaries also in EU countries in order to maintain the client base. Still, the London is a very relevant location, and even there might be slightly turbulent times at the moment, long term, I'm very, very positive about London.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. From that sort of same sort of point, obviously, you know, as we're saying, the sort of the whole banking as a platform thing has been a key focus for us in the UK, but also into Europe as well. There's obviously quite a few you know, traditional banks in the market, but a lot of new players coming into there. I guess the interesting opportunity that LHV has is that you're not a new bank. You're a well-known, established entity that's been around for quite a while. So do you feel that that is going to serve you well in the application for the banking license and obviously getting to work here in the UK?
Well, banking is a quite complicated business, and definitely you need to have some experience to maintain operation for long term. I think LHV has a very strong entrepreneurial mindset starting at the beginning of the bank, which carries on even we are already more mature. That gives us, I think, similar culture on top of what we're building the UK venture. And the other very, very important thing, in my opinion, what comes along is the whole risk culture, risk appetite. We know what we do. We have built our risk framework over the years. We really understand what is the really compliance and AML risk, what we're taking while serving the fintech customers. And I think it's a very calculated risk. A lot of banks do not want to provide services to the fintech clients because they consider them very risky and very exposed to the AML and compliance risks, which is fine because I think it really depends what kind of risk measures you're applying. If your risk measures are light, then of course you should not touch the fintech space. But if you understand what they do, if you trust the clients, and if you analyze the clients' own capabilities and analyze the client's risk culture, I think that enables us to really build a good relationship with those banks. And thirdly, our profitable business helps us to invest into the UK business as well. So we're not coming with empty pockets. We are not going after the VC funding. We can build infrastructure services, hire the team on top of the business what we already have. So the banking services business has really been growing recently very nicely. We are sustainable inside the LHV group as well. We're profitable. So that all gives us strong kind of foundation to move further to build a successful company in UK.
That's wonderful. I think, I'd probably speak for everybody, maybe not the other banks, but wishing you the best of luck in your working towards the banking license in the UK. And we're really very keen to continue to watch and see your story as it unfolds.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time out to speak with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thanks.